Alright, hello and welcome back to another episode of Subnautica. Today we're going to do a quick how-to on how to make the computer chip. I'm going to hop inside real quick here and show you what I actually mean by the computer chip. I'm going to go to the fabricator, resources, electronics, and you'll see right here we've got the computer chip. It's used in a lot of different things, and if you're actually looking at this video, odds are you already know what you need it for. You just want to know specifically how to get the table coral sample. That seems to be one of the biggest things that most people seem to have a problem with, and don't feel bad because I've been there myself. I'm not gonna lie, it took me a while to figure it out. Now, one of the first things you will need in order to get this is your survival knife. Without the survival knife, you cannot knock the table coral samples off the side of the outcroppings or wherever they happen to be growing from in order to actually gather them. So let's go ahead and hop into the water. We've got our survival knife equipped, and let's see if we can't find one real quick. They're usually relatively easy to find. You can find them like here, right along the side of this outcropping. They can be red, they can be purple, they can be brown, they can be any color so long as they're the table coral like this. I'm going to go ahead and knock this one off here. I just used my right click button to knock one off real quick. Do it again. And there we have the two that we need in order to make this. I'm going to put my knife away. We're going to get up here to the top of this, and I'm going to show it to you in our inventory. Now, as you can see, this is what they look like in the inventory. Table coral samples are kind of goldish brown in the inventory. They don't look anything like what you actually see when you're looking at them in the water. So it is a little bit weird in order to trying to find them or locate them in the water. So don't feel bad. But once we have those two, let's hop down in here, and we needed gold. I think it was gold and copper. Gold and one copper wire. The copper wire we need 2 copper ore for. Now, if you don't remember, the copper ore here and the gold here, we actually got from stone. Outcroppings. I'm going to hop into the water real quick to show you what those look like, just to give you a quick reminder. They are hidden about in many places. You can find them on the tubes here. These are coral samples as well. The coral tubes, but these are a different kind of coral sample. I'll knock one off real quick, and that's a common coral sample, and as you see, it's a bit different. You can use that for making water, but I digress. Let's see if we can't find some of what the metal outcroppings look like real quick. Alright, we've got 3 different samples here. The sandstone outcroppings are the ones that you find the gold in. I'm going to knock those up real quick. We can get silver out of those as well. See, we just picked up 1 gold, and you just kind of hit it a couple, 2-3 times with your left mouse click button in order to get the gold or the silver or what happens to be in there. Now, the other outcropping, those outcroppings can be found anywhere. They're not as common the closer to the surface you get. The ones where you find the gold at. But don't worry, they are out there. Trying to remember where that giant coral tube is. There we go. This is the giant coral tube that I've found before in the past. You don't always land in the exact same spot, but once you find this general area where these giant coral tubes are just kind of sticking out here, you can actually find a lot of the materials you need just kind of hanging out on the side here. Here's that limestone chunk, and this one's one of the more common ones that you find. This will have the copper in it. You need 2 copper in order to make the copper wire. And as you can see down in here, there are 3 more of those. What are these? The sandstone outcroppings down in here where you can find the gold. And these are located in this giant coral tube as well. But not all of these outcroppings or stone growths are attached to this giant coral tube here. I just found in the past this is one of the fastest ways for me to find it. They can be found along the side of the outcroppings here, just like the table corals can be found. They can be found along the bottom. Those stone outcroppings can be found quite a few places. And sometimes they're all grouped together all nice and neat, and sometimes they're not. Unfortunately, you just kind of have to knock a few around until you find the ones that you need in order to make the materials you need. In this case, we've got the 2 copper wire already, or the 2 copper ore already, so we can go ahead and make the copper wire. We're going to make that real quick. And we've got the gold in our inventory, which we picked up just a little bit ago. So with the 2 table coral samples, the 1 gold, and the 1 copper wire, we can make the computer chip. And once again, that is what the computer chip looks like. This is the gold ore once it is in your inventory. This is the copper ore. Let me grab 1 more copper ore. I'm going to make another copper wire real quick just to show you what that looks like in your inventory so you can identify it quickly if you need to for whatever reason. So, gold ore, copper wire, computer chip. This is the common. We don't need the common coral. That, once again, it's not really germane to this discussion at the moment. But if you have any more questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I may not be able to respond as quickly as I did with this one. However, in the future, please don't hesitate to ask. I will do my best to answer them as quickly as possible. Thank you very much. You have a good evening.